Hi, my name is Erica Beck from Lloyd Companies, here today to talk a little bit more about the continued partnership efforts between the City of Sioux Falls, our company, Lloyd Companies, and then the support and guidance that we've received from the South Dakota Department of Environmental and Natural Resources. With me today is Don Kearney and Kim McIntosh, and I'll introduce them in just a moment. Last time that I had the opportunity to speak in regards to the Cascade project was on October 2nd when we broke ground just north here on Phillips Avenue on a 2.5 acre site that will be home to over 200 apartment homes, mixed use project that will include over 200 apartment homes, 20,000 square feet of commercial space, along with 50,000 square feet of common area amenity space. One of the things that we just want to talk specifically about on this project is the amount of excavation that we've had to do. So since October 2nd, our team has been working on excavation of the site for the construction of the building itself and the underground parking that will exist on the entire site and will include roughly 216 parking spaces. As part of that excavation effort, one of the things that we had to do was remediate existing contamination that was on the site. Since October 2nd, we have been working diligently to do that. We've demolished a couple of the existing buildings along Main Avenue and have substantially completed remediation of the contamination that existed on site. And we've done so with guidance and support from both Geotech along with the South Dakota Department of Environmental and Natural Resources. And so we're excited to say that the site has now been substantially remediated and we can move forward with additional excavation. One key note specifically about that additional excavation is that roughly 10,000 cubic yards of dirt will be moved to this site, home of the future Levitt shell, as part of that project. And ideally what will happen is that will get started over the next couple of days once we continue moving forward with the addition of the silt fence on the Cascade project site. And what that will do is it will allow the city to move forward with the Levitt project sooner than the spring of next year as previously planned. As with all downtown projects, there's always risk involved when it comes to environmental contamination, and we just appreciate the support and guidance that we've received from both the City of Sioux Falls and South Dakota Department of Environmental and Natural Resources when it comes to getting these projects done, because without those partnerships, we wouldn't be able to realize the vision for what the city had called for in this area to begin with. With that, I'll introduce Don Kearney, the Director of the Parks and Recreation Department, and he can talk more about the Levitt.
Well, thanks, Erica, and I won't have any problem with keeping my hair in place. So, well, again, thanks. It's great to be here. We're excited about being able to get this project started. You know, it's a good day when a partner comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got some extra dirt," and then we, as one of those other partners, say, "Hey, we have a need for a lot of dirt," and you know, it's a really good day when the partner tells you that the dirt that they have that you need is right across the street. And so we're really excited about being able to partner with Lloyd Companies to provide that 10,000 cubic yards of dirt that we need to be able to build up our site to create the event lawn for the Levitt Shell and Falls Park West development. It's been a great working relationship with them, and again, as Erica had mentioned, it really allows us to get the project started sooner than we had originally hoped, because we had originally planned to start construction next spring. And so to be able to get started really is great for us. One of the other nice things about being able to get the dirt placed this winter yet is that it allows that dirt to settle. It goes through those freeze-thaw cycles, and we have less concern about compaction as a result of that. So we'll have a couple winters where that'll take place. The other thing that it does is that if not for this dirt from the Lloyd Company projects, so the Cascades, we would have to pay a contractor to bring that fill in to this site in order to build up our site so we can have that natural amphitheater. And then the other thing that it does is that by saving those dollars that by not having to hire a contractor allows us to do more with our project than we would have otherwise. As many of you know, this site that we stand on is a remediated brownfield site. And you might think our local and national Levitt partners would shy away from a site like this that's been remediated. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the Levitt shell locations across the United States actually identify these areas that are underutilized to really bring life to those sites and really have a great public purpose and build community through music is what Levitt really does as part of their mission. There isn't probably anyone more familiar with this site at Falls Park West. She was involved in the remediation of the site along with our Public Works environmental team. I would like to thank Andy Berg and Doug Johnson who are part of our city environmental team that has helped us with this project as well. And so with that, to make a few comments, I'd like to invite a representative from South Dakota Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Kim McIntosh, to say a few remarks. Kim?
Thank you, Don.
Yep.
I'm Kim McIntosh. I'm with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and I'm a project manager on this site and have been since the inception of the brownfield site. So I'm not normally a public speaker, so I've got a couple notes here, so please bear with me. When I first became involved in the environmental issues in downtown Sioux Falls, starting in the early to mid 1990s, our agency was receiving complaints on contamination, spills, releases, and just a lot of things that were more industrial and commercial sort of contaminants that were occurring down here. And so our agency became involved in trying to address those issues. When Congress passed the Brownfields Revitalization Act, the city of Sioux Falls and actually cities and communities all across the country saw these brownfield funds and the brownfields program as being a way to help revitalize downtown areas and blighted areas of their community. And so these funds then were a way for the city of Sioux Falls to obtain some assistance in gathering information and data on sites like this one, or as it was formerly. And what it did is it provided information to developers and investors to take away the fear and the anxiety of purchasing and developing on contaminated properties. One of the greatest things about the fact that the site before you has been remediated and so that it now can be utilized for a number of different ways is the fact that not only did the cleanup affect just this property, but it did affect a number of properties in the area. The brownfields redevelopment of this area has really brought a renewed pride to the community and the downtown areas, and you can see it by the fact that many of the buildings surrounding us have been redeveloped and refurbished and are kind of coming to life, and that's very, very exciting for our agency. Today, with the final cleanup of the contaminated soils on the Cascade project, I think we've met a really major milestone in the redevelopment of this downtown area.